Hey all, here at OS Reviews, you're watching our hands-on review of the Xiaomi 70mai Dashcam Pro. This is an intelligent car dashboard camera with 2K resolution from Xiaomi. It sells for $55 for the base configuration model that doesn't have built-in GPS, but you can pay $10 more for the version that has GPS. Now, it has a lot of unique features on board, which are inclusive to collision detection, so when that has been detected, it will automatically save that video for you. There's also voice recognition, so you can do things like take an image, begin recording video, and you can say those commands out loud and it will recognize it and do the action. There's also things like collision warning, so it detects objects in front of it using computer vision. It automatically turns on when you start your car if it's plugged into your car's power outlet, and it also has features like anti-fog. So if the car's windshield is not very easy to see through, there will be algorithms on board that tries to clear it up so that the picture quality is still sharp. The field of view is 140 degrees, which is pretty wide, and it also has what's claimed as HDR, so it's able to have a more kind of crisp looking photo with more dynamic saturated colors. So the 70mai is the sub-brand under Xiaomi making these car dashboard cameras, and again, this is the Dashcam Pro, so they do also have a cheaper version that doesn't have quite as many features, slightly lower resolution if you want to save a few bucks. But taking a look at the packaging here, it's pretty simple. It just has Smart Dashcam Pro on the side, and then a few specs printed on the back, including the aforementioned 2K resolution. There's a built-in battery of 500 milliamp hours, so even if the car is turned off, it can still continue recording for a while. So this is the optional accessory with the GPS chip integrated. That's used to align and stick onto the car's windshield. Another little tape that we can use to snap onto this plate here if I don't have the GPS mount, but in our case we do, so we can simply use this module and snap it into place. So essentially the standard package, again, doesn't include the GPS antennas, so this is just a placeholder that covers up the safety pins, but this is what it looks like with it snapped into place. We'll take a closer look at the design in a moment. This is a screen protector for the display, and it measures about 2 inches diagonally. We've got a micro USB cable to provide power, and we have the aforementioned car plug. So this is the bottom one that should be plugged into the 70mai, and there's also a top plug that can be used to charge up your smartphone. One feature I want to point out that maybe the ad didn't do the best job of emphasizing is that this camera does also have built-in Wi-Fi. So there is a companion app that you can install on your smartphone to get a larger view of whatever the camera is seeing, as well as to have that 24/7 monitoring. So it is very similar to a home security camera. You can change the degree by tilting it slightly, but it doesn't go 360 degrees. So you aren't able to, for example, swivel it to take an image of you or passengers inside of the car, and some controls for the menus. This is not a touchscreen, but it is a pretty large display. Now on the side, we have the micro USB port for charging and power, and we have just the micro SD card slot for recording the video. It supports up to 64 gigabytes. Below the 4 keys, you'll find this long button, which is actually the power key that I can tap and hold for a few seconds to turn the unit on. Taking a closer look at its software, I would also point out that it has a built-in speaker as well as a built-in microphone. So yes, it can record sound inside of the car as well. So to press next, this is just going to give us a quick indicator of the status light here. If it's not recording, it's blue. If it's recording, it's green. And if there's an error, it will turn red. We can tap and hold to turn it off manually, tap once to turn it on. In terms of the voice control, we can take a quick photo as well as begin recording video. We can turn off the display here and some various things like that. We can turn on the auto surveillance mode, and we also can download the QR code. That's the companion app. Putting in an SD card, we need to format it first. So here we are, we just see our hand in front of us. Indeed, it is a really wide angle lens, as you can see here. The quality should be better than the screen is indicating, because again, it can record up to 2K, but the display seems all right. It is an IPS panel that has okay viewing angles. With that being said, it definitely isn't the most high resolution thing, but it gives you a quick preview of what you're looking at. Again, I can change the tilt of the camera here by twisting it. Other things can be accessed directly with these keys, for example, turning off the display, turning it back on again. Right now we have the sound muted. I can take an image, look at my gallery, and under advanced settings, I can turn on or off Wi-Fi, Taking a quick look at the app, after launching into it, you simply connect using Wi-Fi to the 70mai Pro. Afterwards, you can see what the camera is seeing, and you can tap to capture a photo, although video recording is controlled directly on the camera. That is, it's always recording when plugged into power, and it just loops over when the memory is full. That part you don't actually control on the app. You can also tap here to take a look at the photos and videos which are continuously being recorded. Again, segmented by date, you can tap on the video clips as well as the images. And under settings, you'll also find something called the ADAS warning. That is basically the GPS capabilities of the camera. It's able to tell you when there's a car moving ahead, also telling you if you're changing lanes, and if there's a car that's suddenly slowing down, it will also alert you. So this is done using GPS by calculating your speed on the road and your relative position. I have to say though that that's the extent of the GPS capabilities. You aren't able to physically track your movement on a map. You also can't see your live speed either, which is a little bit of a limitation. The GPS chip can obviously do a lot more, so I'm really expecting and hoping Xiaomi releases a software update that brings more live tracking and speed tracking capabilities to the 70mai Pro. But anyways, once you turn the ADAS or the GPS on, you'll see this little check mark on the top of the screen that says you've correctly connected to the GPS signal, and afterwards all of the kind of ADAS, the lane detection and speed detection will be done automatically. So how that works in real life is basically if there's a car in front of you that's getting very close, it will tell you through the voice prompts like Alexa that there's motion detected for the vehicle ahead and you should probably slow down. Let's take a closer look at the real-world performance of the camera next. So as seen in those sample video clips, the overall quality is actually really good. By default, the camera takes 1 minute long clips continuously, so that if it detects motion or shaking from a collision, it just saves that quick few clips that's relevant, and everything else can be purged when the memory is full. So that's how it allocates the memory. Instead of doing one file that's really long, it just separates it into 1 minute sessions. We do have a logo and a timestamp information, and the field of view is very wide, so there's no problems at all as far as being able to look at all the details around you. And furthermore, because of the super wide angle nature, you can tell in the video how everything is really smooth. Even if you're driving over a little bit of a rough terrain, everything still looks really comfortable, like you're shooting from a gimbal or something that's stabilized. I would say especially in difficult environments like nighttime as well as when it's raining, that's where this camera really shines, because the performance is definitely better than other budget dashboard cams I've seen for the same price. Here's what the file structure looks like from the memory card after you remove it from the 70mai. We have one which is dedicated to parking, so that's footage that the camera will record if motion is detected even when the car is parked, and that's using the rechargeable battery. So again, if there's any collisions or any movement, it will start recording a short clip, which is pretty cool. We can also take a look at our normal footage over here. This is going to be all the video clips. So if we play back a short one here, by default, again, the video doesn't have any sound, but we are able to turn that on if we want it to. Again, the clips that we already saw previously. And actually, the image quality seems even better than the video quality. There's more sharpness to it, and the contrast is actually surprisingly good. It's almost like an HDR effect that you'll find on your smartphone. So it actually does a great job of picking up lots of shadows as well as the sky here. So all the different textures and details are captured really well. And furthermore, on this image, again 5 megapixels, you can tell how the signs and details far away are still also really legible, and colors are just really impressive and vibrant. And just a few more samples here just to get a full idea of what the quality is like. Again, I can zoom all the way in. I can even make out some of the finer details like the windows from this building that's really far away from the actual car here. So a great overall sensor, I think, for a relatively budget low-end dashboard camera. Especially in bright environments, it just does a fantastic job in terms of compensating for light and shadows. And again, color reproduction is very faithful and beautifully done. So that's more or less it as far as our hands-on review of the Xiaomi 70mai Smart Dashcam Pro. It works well across many scenarios, whether it's nighttime, gloomy, raining, or just a clear, vibrant day. The fact that it continues to record even when being parked is just really cool, and the companion app just works without any hurdles. So overall, for the price, I would say this is definitely one of the best values that you'll find on the market currently. Not too surprising considering it's from Xiaomi and they have a tendency and a habit of giving us great value items at a pretty low cost. So you can check out more details again, but for now that's been our video. Thanks for watching here at OS Reviews. That's been the 70mai Smart Dashcam Pro.